A bookstore sells mystery books for $4 each. The total sales of mystery books this month is $344. So we got to start out. We've got some numbers here. Let's take $4 each, $344. Write an equation. What's the difference between an equation and an expression? An equation has an equal sign. Write an equation that can be used to determine the number of mystery books B that the bookstore sold this month. So a couple things you got to check out. First, you got to have an equation. Equation's got an equal sign, so you got to have an equal sign in what you give them, and you have to use the variable B. I don't know if they'd really count it wrong if you use a different variable, but you might as well, I mean, you don't know what the blue-haired old ladies are going to do, so you might as well use the variable B. So let's take a look here. This is going to be each mystery book costs $4, and the total is $344. So 4 times the number of books, B. So we can just write 4B. We don't have to write 4 times B, equals $344. That is our equation. So you take the total number of books. If you have 2 books, then it's 2 times 4, which would be $8, which obviously it's not that. But the number of books times 4 equals 344, because 344 is the total sales. Now, for the next part, that's the easy part. Now for the hard part. The bookstore sells biographies for $3 each and science fiction books for $5 each. So we're going to use the very same method that we used previously, $3 for each science fiction book and $5 for each biography, or I'm sorry, $3 for each biography and $5 for each science fiction book. Use the following information to determine the total sales the store made this month. We know they sold half as many biographies as mysteries. Now, mysteries is what we have in our equation to begin with. And 25 less than, something minus 25, that's a hint, were sold than science fiction books. What were the total sales for biographies, mysteries, and science fiction books this month? Do not include sales tax. So this is how we're going to solve that. First, remember, every time that they give you an equation, you're going to need to solve that equation. So if we don't know where to start with this, that's a good place to start. So let's go to our equation. 4b equals 344. So this is a simple one-step equation. We have 4 times b, so we divide by 4. Since we did it on the left, we do it on the right. Divide by 4. 4 over 4 leaves just b. 344 divided by 4 leaves us, whoa, that just went crazy on me, leaves us with 86. So what does the 86 mean? Well, we solved our equation. We wanted to know how many mysteries. So that means we've got 86 mystery books. So now we need to find out how many of the other books, the other types of books that we have. Well, we know we have half as many biographies as we have mysteries. So what's half of 86? Well, half of 86 is 43 biographies. Now you could put it in the equation, 1/2 times the number of mysteries equals biographies. I think that's a little bit of overkill. I think you can figure out what 1/2 is there, and they'll be okay. The blue-haired old lady will forgive you for that one. And then we also have 25 fewer biographies than science fiction books. So the number of biographies, we have 43 biographies, and we have less biographies than science fiction books. So that 25, actually we're not subtracting it here, we're adding it because we have more science fiction books. So 43 plus 25 equals 68 sci-fi. So now we know how many of each type of book we have. We have 86 mysteries, 43 biographies, and 68 sci-fi books. So we need to figure out the price. Well, we already know that we have $344 on mysteries. Now for biographies, biographies are selling for $3 each. So 43 times 3 equals 129 for biographies. And now 68 sci-fi books, 68 times, how much do we charge per sci-fi book? $5 each. 68 times $5 is, let's see, $340. And that's our sci-fi. So you see how I'm notating it, and mine is kind of sloppy in here. You might want to make it neater than I do, but I have some limitations because I'm drawing on my iPad right now. But you see how I've got the notes on how many mysteries, how many biographies, how many sci-fi books, and the price for each of them. So now all I have to do to find my total is I have to add them all up. 344 plus 129 plus 340. And I stick that into my calculator and come up with $813. Now I could put here, so that they know where I got the 813, I put add them up to get, and I draw an arrow right here. So you see I put some notes in here for just in case I make a mistake, that the blue-haired old ladies can see what I was trying to do and give me some credit. But this is a good example of a 6 out of 6 answer. So the answer for the first part, 4B equals 344. The answer for the second part, $813.